I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard that shit threw me off. But then I let it play out, like, well, like this shit, like, when I kept listening to it, and when I was in the gym, that shit turned me up in the gym, I ain't gonna lie.
So, Yeat's 2093 album seems to be taking a little longer than expected. The crazy part is, he announced this album in May of 2023, which in about 4 months will be a year ago. But what I want to talk about is how this album turned into a completely different album out of nowhere, and who he's going to be competing with if he drops soon. Because he's definitely in that studio cooking, but he might be burning the goods at this point. Alright people, first things first. This album's sound really did change out of nowhere. Around May and June of 2023, Yeat started releasing lifestyle snippets that had pretty much the same sound as his Life EP and Afterlife album. Now if y'all know Yeat, you know he doesn't stop making music. He released snippet after snippet after snippet, building up hype for a completely different album than what he's expected to drop soon. Here were some of the highly anticipated lifestyle snippets that he did play.
I ain't hear this. I heard this. He needs to drop this. This sideways shit is hard. I know, my diamonds link. I got time. Do y'all hear?
Fuck what you been talking about. Yeah, fuck the games you playing. Fuck the games you playing.
Now listen to the new snippets and tell me they go on the same album.
All you wanna see is diamonds. All I wanna see is violence.
This shit sound like a fucking movie.
I just took off. I keep my foot on the gas, no I don't take it off. We so clean, yeah, we ain't Nike. We go back from back. We go back from back on blood. We go back from back. We go back from back on blood.
I don't fuck with that. I gotta hear the real song though.
Newsflash, they don't. So this means only one thing, and that is that Yeat is scrapping all of the lifestyle songs. Now, there's a number of reasons why this is the case. One could be that leakers had most of those lifestyle songs and Yeat was worried that they would get played out. The sad fact is, there were people releasing and bragging about having the songs on deck ready to release. And on top of that, the song Trendsetter, one of the most anticipated songs, did get leaked fully.
Real trendsetter, we had so much fun. Yeah, we got so much guns. Yeah, we got so much fun.
And yes,
I ain't hear that.
Listening to it on repeat, but hey, that's not the problem here, alright? The problem is that leakers have always been an issue, and we know that they cause artists to delay or even switch up albums. Second reason could just be the simple fact that Yeat and his team were just ready to switch it up. We know Yeat keeps a certain sound for usually 2 or 3 projects, and Life and Afterlife pretty much had the same sounds and beat selections with one exception.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard that shit threw me off. But then I let it play out, like, well, like this shit, like, when I kept listening to it, and when I was in the gym, that shit turned me up in the gym. I ain't gonna lie. I be getting right.
He just wants to prove that he really can hop on any beat. Next, we have the delay. So the new 2093 album was speculated to drop many times, but the most realistic release date was sometime this February. But Kanye just released the dates for his Vultures album, which for some fucking reason, he wants to split up into 3 volumes, with the first releasing on the 9th of February, second on the 8th of March, and the third volume on the 5th of April. Now honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Yeat could wait out the first drop and then drop late February, like this guy's saying, but we also gotta think about Cardi, because even if we don't have a release date, he's expected to drop his album sometime this year as well. But in all honesty, I feel like Yeat would be fine if he dropped the album whenever. His fan base is so large and so supportive that they would still run his shit up. And trust me when I say we've been waiting long enough that I feel like no matter what album drops, he's still getting that first play. Now don't y'all call me a fucking dick rider in the comments. That's just keeping it a stack, bro. Like, we've been waiting way too long, and this album has been like way too highly anticipated for it to not get the first play. Also, if y'all haven't been keeping up with the news, Yeat's been a lot more active lately, even popping out in Paris for Fashion Week alongside that leech Zach Bia. And ironically, Cardi was in the same club and hotels where Yeat's been staying. Don't know what that means other than they're just both there for Fashion Week, but a collab could be on the way. Also, don't quote me on that collab because we all know Cardi's ego is way too big to be doing something like that. But it would be cool. Another crazy thing is, you can see from footage that people are finally starting to realize who Yeat is.
Oh my god, Justin Timberlake!
Justin Timberlake is crazy.
Alongside the fact that he's been more active lately, Yeat was just listed in the group of the top 100 most streamed hip-hop artists of all time on Spotify. I swear, this dude cannot stay off from stats. Like, I feel like I read something new all the time.
All they do is it go number one.
It's gonna sound and how it's gonna play out with the public. And I say that because, bro, by the way these snippets are sounding, there will be a majority of people who will not be bumping these types of songs in the car. It's just way too experimental for the average human, and I don't know how it's gonna play out for the album's success. But maybe he doesn't need that. All he might need is just TikTok. And I feel like he and his team actually just know that. Like, these
Didn't they
songs will,
take his
without
music
any
off
doubt,
TikTok?
end up on edit TikTok.
Yo,
And then from there gain traction just by people being curious. I hope that's not the case because it won't really back up any of Yeat's success and the work that he's put in, and people will just think he's a TikTok rapper or still just an industry plant. But I guess he knows what he's doing and that money's gonna come regardless. Anyways, the album should be coming soon enough. Yeat posted something about a snippet being the last one before the drop. I just don't see how that's gonna work with Kanye's 3-part album dropping soon. And I don't know how people would take this album considering that none of their favorite snippets will be on it. I'm pumped though. Like, so far I've liked every snippet that he's dropped. And that shit will be in
the
rotation.
nigga Kanye dropping
Just
every
letting y'all
month.
know.
February, March, April. What
If y'all
the
are new
hell?
to this channel,
So when Cardi gonna drop? He might drop February. What if he dropped the same day as Kanye? That would be crazy.